episode number 75.
This episode is brought to you by our Career Kickstart program, where we help working mums who are feeling stuck, overwhelmed and frustrated to take the next best step in their career. Figuring out your next career move can be tough, and when you add motherhood into the mix, well, things can get really complicated. So through our program, we help you to move away from being frustrated and overwhelmed to getting to a place where you are loving your work and life. If this sounds good to you, then head over to our website at www.lightboxcoaching.com and find out more information.
Hi, you're listening to the Careers Beyond Motherhood podcast with your host, Janine Esbrand. I'm here to help working mums like you to thrive in your careers and in motherhood. I share tips, strategies and inspirational conversations with awesome women to help reduce the struggle in your juggle.
Time for a say, Mummy.
Hello and welcome to the show. It is great to have you here. If you are a first-time listener, welcome. If you are a long-time listener, welcome back. It has been a few weeks since I've been here. As you know, there has been a lot going on, and so I have not been getting episodes out consistently, but I am going to be changing that. I have put together a plan for 2020. I've mapped out the types of things I'm going to be sharing, and so my commitment is to be more consistent with this podcast because I love having these chats. I love speaking to you. I love getting feedback from you about the topics that we talk about, and so I am making a commitment to release an episode every single week, and it would be great if you could help to keep me accountable. So if you see me slipping and not releasing an episode each week, my aim is to do that on a Tuesday. If you don't see an episode, then head over to LinkedIn or to Instagram and give me a nudge and say, Janine, where's the episode? So that I know that you're waiting for it, and I will get myself into gear and get it out to you. My aim with this podcast is to create a resource where you can get guidance, training, information, insight and inspiration around your career advancement beyond motherhood, so that you can get the tips that you need to move forward in your career, so that you can get the strategy that you've been seeking, so that you can find the right role for you or move into a new way of working. I want to be able to provide you with those kinds of resources because the clients that I work with have benefited from understanding career change strategies, understanding how they should be building their personal brands, how they should be negotiating and getting out there so that they can really build fulfilling careers. And so my aim with the podcast is to provide you with resources that will allow you to continue to move forward, because I really believe that life is too short to be doing work that you don't enjoy. And so I want to help you to get to the place where you are loving your work and your life, because work-life balance is really, really hard to achieve. I don't really think it's possible to have balance consistently, but what I do believe in is work-life integration. When you can integrate your work and your family life and figure out how everything fits together, that is where you will find true fulfillment in your day-to-day life. So, what are we talking about today? Today is the final day of 2019, and so I thought it would be a good time to do a year in review, because honestly this year has been quite the roller coaster. There have been some major wins, some major highs, some big changes, and there have been a lot of frustrations, a lot of learnings, and so I thought it would be good for me to share with you a bit of the behind the scenes and how I have been reflecting on 2019 and the things I have identified as wins, as learning points, and what I am thinking about implementing in 2020 and how I'm planning for 2020. So we're going to dive into that today. So let's start with what worked well. So at the beginning of 2019, I did this similar process where I was reflecting on the previous year and setting my intentions for the year to come. And there were a few things that I wrote down on my goals board. So I have an electronic board on an app that I use called Trello that organizes everything in my business and my life. And I put down that I wanted to do more speaking engagements in 2019. I wanted wanted to do a TEDx talk in 2019. I wanted to increase the number of clients that I worked with in 2019. So those were a few of the things that I put down, and I am super happy to report that I did those. I have become a speaker. So I've done a few keynote speeches at conferences. I've attended workshops and delivered training. I have delivered a TEDx talk, and that feels really, really good because I put it down on my list and I was intentional about making those goals a reality. And in some circumstances, opportunities seem to come out of the blue, but I was speaking about them. I was sharing with people what it was I wanted to do, so it was easier for people to refer opportunities my way. I also joined Toastmasters. So if you are thinking I would love to do more public speaking or feel more confident in public speaking, then Toastmasters is a really, really great organization because it helps you to prepare, to understand the art of speaking, and give you a safe space for you to practice in front of other people and get real feedback. So it was fantastic in helping me to prepare for my talks, particularly my TEDx talk, and I would highly, highly recommend Toastmasters if you want to get started with speaking or just feel more confident in what it is that you're doing. The other thing that worked really well was working with new clients, a range of different clients. So I've had a number of one-to-one clients who have been absolutely incredible and managed to land ideal roles, change career direction, return to work after having a career break, and it's just been so nice to see people get results as I've been working with them in a one-to-one capacity. And I also launched my brand new group coaching program, which has been so incredible. So it launched in September of this year, and we've just wrapped up the 90-day program and have had some incredible results. One of the ladies in this cohort of the Career Clarity Academy landed 2 job offers in completely different industries to what she had been in for the last 10 years before the end of the 90-day program. It's just incredible to see how hard she worked. She put in the time, she followed the steps that I outlined, she showed up to the live calls, and she got the results. So it was really, really good to see, and I'm excited because in the next few weeks we're going to be relaunching the program and opening the doors again. So I'm excited to see what the next group of ladies are able to achieve. The next thing that I wanted to share is I committed to being more visible and consistently getting myself out there this year. So I have been very, very active on LinkedIn, and you know, if you have listened to me for any length of time, that LinkedIn is my jam. I absolutely love LinkedIn, and I share with my clients how amazing the platform is. I got more visible on LinkedIn consistently. I have pitched myself to be on a lot more podcasts, so I've featured in a lot more places. I've also featured in a national print publication, and it's just been good. It's been good to get out there and have people know more about the service that I provide and how I support people, because it is my mission over the next few years to help thousands and thousands of women to find career fulfillment and really achieve what it is they want to achieve in their careers beyond motherhood. So I'm only going to be able to do that if I get out there and let more people know about the services that I offer, the programs that I run, and the courses that I deliver. So it's exciting to see how making a commitment to more visibility has led to being featured a lot more. So I will definitely be doing more of that in 2020. One of the things that I am proud of is taking a step outside of my comfort zone when it came to a difficult work decision. So if you have listened to episode 59, you will know that I quit a role early this year that wasn't really working for me or my family anymore and embarked on legal consulting. So that has been a really interesting transition, a different way of working, a whole new way of managing my time. Sometimes it didn't work as well, and I'll come on to that in a little while, but it was a decision that I made because what I was doing wasn't working for me and my family setup. And I know for you might be in a situation where you need to make a change, you want to make a change, but you are really nervous about doing it and stepping into the unknown, and so you feel stuck. And so I want to encourage you that taking action and moving forward is definitely the way to go. The only way for you to figure out what the best next step is for you is to explore it. You can't figure out in your head. You have to take some steps to move forward. And so I would encourage you to do so. And if you're thinking, well, I don't know what steps to take, how do I take steps? Then I will encourage you to join the upcoming Career Change Bootcamp. So I'm going to be running a free bootcamp in a few weeks' time, starting on the 20th of January. And so if you are feeling stuck, then I would encourage you to go to lightboxcoaching.com/bootcamp and you'll be able to join the waitlist. And I'm excited because the last bootcamp had over 150 ladies go through it, and so many people had awesome feedback and great results. So join us for the bootcamp so I can help you get unstuck. Okay, so those are a few things that went well this year. Let's talk a little bit about what didn't go so well. So as I mentioned, I changed the way that I was working and started consulting, and it's fantastic because I have far more autonomy and control over my time. However, I have been working a lot longer hours, and so juggling the children with the legal consulting and running the business has meant that my days have become very long and my nights very short in terms of the amount of sleep that I've been getting. And so a word of caution for anyone who is moving into a more flexible role: just know that just because it's flexible, it doesn't mean that you're going to have less work to do. And so in managing your time, you have to be really, really intentional about setting boundaries and being disciplined with yourself around when you are going to work and when you're not going to work. So that is something that I'm going to be working on in 2020. I am doing a lot more scheduling, using my calendar, being clear about when I am going to be doing what, and making sure that there's some white space in my calendar, because it has been a lot of back-to-back working and rushing around, which just hasn't been good for my stress levels and for my health overall and self-care. So this coming year, I'm going to be focused on making sure I get that exercise in, making sure I have some time to myself, not letting go of things that are really important to me on the personal side of things because I am working so much. So those are some of the things that I know I need to change, and now is the best time, the beginning of the year, to just plan out how that's going to happen. I think it's really important for you to not only set the goal and say this is what I want to do, but then break that down and say, well, how am I actually going to do that? So when I was looking at, okay, I need to be better at boundaries and having time when I'm working and when I'm not working, then I said, okay, well, how am I going to do that? And I decided that I was going to block out different times in my calendar for different things, color code it, have specific times in my calendar where I am allocating work time or personal time or family time, so that I know what I should be doing when, and I'm making the commitment to myself that that's what I'm going to be doing. So that is how I'm going to do it. Now I'm more likely to keep up with that because I have the strategy in place. So if you are at the stage where you're setting goals, but all you're doing is setting the goal and you haven't gone a step further and said, how are you going to do it? And broken down the different steps that you're going to take, then you still have work to do, because without that last piece, your goal is just going to stay a goal. And I want you to be making your goals happen and turning your dreams into reality in 2020. So really think about what it is you want to do going forward and then break those things down. So 2020, what is it about for me? So 2020 is going to be about streamlining. It's going to be about focus, and it's going to be about consistency. So this year I have got involved in lots of different things. I've tried new things in my business. I've tried new things personally. I've pushed boundaries, stepped outside my comfort zone. But now in 2020, I just want to focus on a few things and doing a few things well instead of spreading myself so thin. So in this year, I'm going to be focused on consistently publishing this podcast and running the Career Clarity Academy, my group program, and I'm going to be focused on doing a few speaking engagements, and that's it, because other than that, I will be working on a part-time basis, and so I need to make sure that my calendar isn't overrun and that I have the time and the space to do the other things that are important to me. Spend time with my husband, spend time with my family, do personal things like go to the gym and other hobbies that I enjoy, like playing netball. So this year is all about focus, consistency, and streamlining. So tell me, what about you? What are some of the things that you are focused on for 2020? I would love to know. So if you're listening to this, why not screenshot this episode and post it on Instagram in your stories and tag me and let me know what your plans are for 2020, or alternatively you can drop me a message on LinkedIn and let me know. So it's been great chatting to you about my review of 2019 and my plans for 2020, and I look forward to being back with you next week with another episode. And just a reminder, if you are feeling stuck in your career and you're trying to figure out what you're going to be doing with it in 2020, then you need to sign up to the Career Change Bootcamp. It is a game changer and you're going to love it. We're getting started in a few weeks' time, so go to lightboxcoaching.com/bootcamp, sign up for the waitlist, and I look forward to seeing you in the bootcamp. Until then, look after you and look after your babies.
This podcast features music from Bensound.